What is going on, guys? It is your boy Tor. We're back for another video. Today we are taking a look at the banner that's dropping out tonight, and I wanted to go ahead and do a quick little video on just discussing the three characters from best to worst or worst to best. We're going to start off with the worst, leading up to the end, which is the best character in the banner. Now this one's kind of interesting, right, because there's a few characters in there that are unique and different, and you know, it's a remake of White Day summons from way back in the day, in the form of party summons. So yeah, let's take a look at them. We've got the three characters that are Shuhei, Grimmjow, and Gin. We're going to start off with who I believe is the worst out of the three, and that's going to be Shuhei. So let's take a look. So as you see here, this is his kit, or I mean his special. We're going to get to his kit in a moment. So one thing about him is that he is a NAD unit, so his strong attacks aren't all that necessarily great or important. You know, one thing usually you want is like a good set of strong attacks that may go ahead and assist with like the you know, crowd control and things like that. But really, he doesn't have the greatest for that. I think his third is one of those that like gets everything in front of him, and it might be a magnet. Let me see that one more time actually. Here we go. So just to make sure. So no, it doesn't look like it's a magnet. Oh wait, yeah, it is. It's a quick little magnet, right? So it's semi good for crowd control. His second looks to get, you know, everything in front of him, and his third is a ranged collision first, which is usually the worst, right? You do not want a ranged collision first for a NAD unit, right? But I mean, again, it's not super necessary. This is still all right because he's a NAD unit again, so that's what's most important. If you do notice though, on all of his attacks, he does inflict a status ailment called slow. So basically it slows down the enemies, and that can actually bring an interesting point to the game, right? Where how important can that status ailment be? It might be a good one, and it might be game changing. Who knows? We'll see. I think it can be really annoying when it comes to the to like arena mode, which is actually next thing we're going to look at is just overall what he brings to the table. He does inflict a lot of damage, especially when he's inflicting like the slow duration, because if he inflicts slow on his as a status ailment, he does actually get an extra 40% damage. Combine that with his bruiser of 30, and then technique attribute Soul Reaper normal attack damage of 20% that goes towards him and his team. You know, he's inflicting pretty bad damage, like badass damage. That's really good. Bad in terms of, you know, it being a good thing. Range damage plus 10% plus 30% in Guild Quest. So in Guild Quest, he's going to be even more impressive. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be really good. He has Flurry, he has Poise. One thing he does not have, and this is what I think brings him down a level, is going to be Guard Break. If he had Guard Break, right, that would be insane. That would make him that much better. But he doesn't, so that again brings him down a notch. He does get normal attack damage of 20% with his normal attack as a soul trait. So dude, that's 20, 40, 40, and then 70. Dude, this guy is getting 110% when enemies are slowed down. Extra damage overall just on his NAD string, and then an extra 30% in Guild Quest. Like, that's insane. That is basically double Flurry without it really being double Flurry. His arena skill is damage taken at a minus 10%, and then attack plus 90. He does get evasion of 11%, and then normal attack damage plus 30% when he's level 10. He does have actually innate skills which dodge hollow damage, so that one's pretty impressive. That one's actually going to be really good for like for arena mode. Freeze resistance and shackler, because he does have a chance of inflicting the slow duration ailment every 5 seconds. So that is actually huge. So he's going to be a very good arena mode character, as well as a really good what's it called, a Guild Quest character. Now those are kind of the areas where I think he's gonna be really good, but everywhere else I don't think he'll be all that impressive. For that reason alone, I'd put him here. Now it's a very close call, right? It's not that big of a difference between him and the next character, which is Grimmjow. So now we're gonna take a look at Grimmjow. Let's look at his gameplay, and then we'll talk about his stats and skills. And the reason I put Grimmjow here Arguably, he has the best kit in the game. I mean, out of the banner, not the game, but so arguably, this Grimmjow has the best kit in the banner itself. And the reason I say that is because his second strong attack, it's a big AOE in front of him, right? Third is a full screen, and his first is a lunge attack. All that with Havoc, so that's gonna be really good. I mean, the only way you can really get better and with this current meta would be if his first would have been a 3,000 length beam. But he has the second best thing, right? A lunge forward attack with a great second and a great third. He has good damage. He doesn't have any status elements with his strong attacks or special or normal attack string. So there's maybe, I guess, that drawback of his. But, everything he's got is good. It makes him a good character. Now, nothing really out of this world amazing. If you're a Grimmjow fan, he's a cool character, but he's not the best Grimmjow, if I'm being honest. There's better Grimmjows out there, like the Can't Fear Your Own World, the second, Grimmjow. I think that one's a better one for sure. But let's take a look at him. He is the third speed attribute character with the power link stop potion +5. So him, Momo, and Retsu are the three, and so that makes him important. Really, that alone makes him pretty important. He does have recharge of 14% as a soul trait, 40% berserker with 40% bruiser, devastation of 60, frenzy, havoc of 20, sprinter, and he does have follow-up +1, which is good. I think that was better really with a normal attack character, if I'm being honest. Although, actually, no, it's good in general because, if you didn't know what that was, that basically allows him to deal damage on enemies that are fallen back, right? So, like, if you hit a character and they don't die, but they fall down because you hit them, you're still inflicting damage, which is good because it just allows you to deal more damage throughout the time that you're playing. I would have taking guard break over follow-up any day of the week, but still not too bad. And looking at him, I mean, he's really good. He's a solid character. He's not anything like super impressive, but he's a good character. No affiliation killer, and I forgot to mention with Shuhei is a hollow killer, so that's pretty important. But yeah, no affiliation killer on Grimmjow, which no affiliation is becoming more and more prominent and more usable in this game, so that's not bad. Soul trait of 14 recharge, strong attack damage of 13% with spiritual pressure of 45 as a soul trait in arena mode. He does get strong attack damage plus 30% once he's leveled up all the way. So obviously not the greatest stats for arena mode, but that's why we have the power Grimmjow for arena, so obviously not that great. Fire resistance, read no affiliation dodges, which this one's the controversial skill with him. Because that just they made this a requirement for the point event, which if you have this Grimmjow with the point event that's going to be out during his banner, this is only going to be a benefit, but in general it's just kind of annoying, to be honest. He does get the 5 link stop potion, which is probably his biggest thing. His kit in general though is not too bad, right? Like I said, first is a lunge forward, second is a 960 radius attack in front of him, and his third is a full screen. With Havoc, it's insane. It's really good. So his second and third are very good. His first is good, but not to the current meta. It could have been better with a 30,000 length beam, but whatever. So again, very close. You can even argue that this Grimmjow is better than the next character, which is Gin. But we'll talk about why I think Gin's the best. We'll just start his gameplay, and then we'll talk about it. So I mean, oh man, he looks cool. They all look cool. They're all cool. They're all really good as well. I mean, I feel like it's, this banner is very close to one another. I could not tell you which one's, like, it's not like one's that much better than the other. Okay, so there you go. So, oh man, I don't know. Yeah. Looks clean. Okay. So let's take a look at the numbers and what he brings to the table. So Gin is, like, on paper, he's very solid. He's a power attribute character with 12 recharge as a soul trait. He does get power attribute Soul Reaper damage to status ailment affected enemies plus 20%. since he does inflict paralysis. That's when he, you know, when they're paralyzed, he inflicts that much more damage. But it's specific to the actual attribute and affiliation of the enemies. So that's, oh no, not to the enemies, but the affiliation of himself. But that's for the team as well, so it helps the team as well. Berserker plus 40, Bruiser of 20, damage to paralyzed enemies of 20%, Debilitator 5 seconds, Devastation 40, Frenzy, Havoc, and Sharpshooter. Now, with that said, Sharpshooter, I might be putting a little too much value on him because of the Sharpshooter. Now, Sharpshooter, you got to keep in mind, is a very, very sought after skill. It's not very common. I think maybe like 4, I know the anniversary characters have it, even, and Artwork Ichigo, so that's 4 characters there. And then there's like Noelle and Nini. Oh, but they just get the nullify resistance, like range and melee resistance. So actually, Sharpshooter is a very, very sought after skill. Like, if you didn't know, it's basically, you know, nullifying the melee resistance or range resistance while also having guard break in there. And that makes him good, don't get me wrong, that makes him really good, but I might even go ahead and list him below Grimmjow. Shoot, am I gonna do that? Probably overvaluing him. I mean, he has a lot of really good numbers on the strong attack damage, and he's good in general, but you know, looking at what he does have in terms of kit, the kit, in my opinion, is most important over anyone or over anything really when dictating how good a character is. But let's finish up with looking at him and then we'll decide. So no affiliation killer, strong attack 12%, recharge 12%. Arena mode, he has a strong attack damage plus 13%, spiritual pressure 45, all stats, and then 30% strong attack damage. So he's not looking all that impressive in arena mode. I mean, he looks good, but not anything super crazy. Innate skills, freeze resistance, read no affiliation dodges, just like Grimmjow, kind of dumb. Sprinter, and yeah, that's his innate skills. But the biggest problem with him, I guess you can look at, is his set of strong attacks. His first is a shave first strong attack. So I thought it was a beam forward attack initially. It's not. It's a shave attack. It's kind of like Nini's, right? Where it's better than a range collision first, where, you know, it spreads out the enemies and it sometimes doesn't hit all that great. This one's a little bit better. You know, especially with Sharpshooter, you know, that guard break being in there, that's going to help, but, you know, it's not that impressive. His second is the other one where it's kind of debatable on how good it is, because it's a vortex attack that moves forward, and I just feel like at this point in the game, you know, in 2021, that's not the most important. Like, that's not a really, you know, great strong attack. If you would have told me like 2-3 years ago, that would have been one of the better seconds. But, you know, you prefer a 960 radius attack second, like Grimmjow's. You prefer that because the damage is just going to be better. You're going to be able to clear faster, etc., right? His third is fine. It gets everything in front of him. 1,170, you know, radius with Havoc is very impressive. I actually, in some cases, prefer that over a full screen strong attack. So, I mean, he's got that going for him. One thing I did forget to mention is his special does also have a chance, I believe, or no, not a chance of healing, but it does actually give you basically a free revival for you and the team. So it's like a last ditch. If you die after he uses a special, you revive automatically, himself and his team. So that's very good. That's not bad. But I think, honestly speaking, if I'm being honest, based off what he has, like stats, skills, and overall everything in general, what he has is going to be really good. I think he's still the best character out of this batch, but you can go Grimmjow number 1. And so I think it's very, very close between the two. I'm going to leave Gin at number 1 just because of how important Sharpshooter is, and because he does have, you know, his first is a shave for a strong attack. You know, it's not a beam, which is what we would have preferred, but it's better than what I might have thought it was at first. His second, I don't know. That's the one that's debatable, because like I said, back 2 years ago, that would have been a perfect strong attack. Nowadays, that could be debatable on how good it is. But with that said, that's basically it. I just wanted to talk about it before you summon, just talking about the characters. I'll do this for the banners, you know, moving forward, just kind of ranking the characters from worst to best. And so, yeah, with that said, appreciate you all. In conclusion, I think Shuhei's very good, but he's going to be the last one on my list when it comes to best characters in this banner. Second will be, Grimmjow, but it's very close between the #1 character, which is Gen. So, yeah. Anyways, comment down below if you think I missed anything. If you think it's a different ranking, right? If you prefer one over the other, let me know why you think that's the case. Anyways, thank you guys. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.